Welcome. This is Maeriel, Lucille Smith, America's favorite therapeutic communicator, bringing you today daily Bible study. And I'm reading Job 1:22. Shall I return? The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this, Job did not sin or charge God with wrong. Satan attacks Job's health at this point. He has already taken his wealth and taken his children. Now he's attacking his health. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came along them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said to Satan, From where have you come? Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro on the earth and walking up and down on it. And the Lord said to Satan, Have you considered my servant Job? And there is none like him on earth, blameless and upright man, who fears God and turns away from evil. He still holds fast to his integrity, although you incite me against him to destroy him without reason. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin. All that a man has, he will give for his life. But stretch out your hand and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse you to your face. And the Lord said to Satan, Behold, he is in your hand. Only spare his life. So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and struck Job with loathsome sores from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head. And he took a piece of broken pottery, which to scrape himself while he sat in the ashes. Then his wife said to him, Do you still hold fast your integrity? Curse God and die. But he said to her, You speak as one of the foolish women would speak. Shall we receive good from God, and shall we not receive evil? Question. In all this, Job did not sin with his lips. All that arguing and his wife leaving him, he still hasn't sinned. Now, Job's three friends. Now, when Job's three friends heard all this evil had come upon him, they came each from his own place. Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamanite. They made an appointment together to come and show sympathy and comfort. They made an appointment to all show up together to comfort him and show sympathy. And when they saw him from a distance, they did not recognize him. They raised their voices and wept, and they tore their robes and sprinkled dust on his head towards heaven. And they sat with him on the ground 7 days and 7 nights. No one spoke a word to him, and they saw that his suffering was really great, was very great. So now Job opens his mouth after and cursed the day he was born. And Job said, Let the day perish which I was born, and the night that said, A man is conceived, and let the day be darkness. May God above not seek it, nor light shine upon it. Let gloom and deep darkness claim it. Let clouds dwell upon it, and the blackness of the day terrify it that night. Let the thick darkness seize it. Let it not rejoice among the days of the year. Let it not come into the number of the months. Behold, let the night be barren. Let not no joyful cry enter it. Let those curse it, and who curse the day, who are ready to rouse up leaven. Let the stars of its dawn be dark. Let it hope for light, but have none, nor see the eyelids of the morning, because it did not shut the doors of my mother's womb, nor hid trouble from my eyes. Why did I not die at birth, come out from the womb and expire? Why did the knees receive me? Or why the breast should I nurse, that I should nurse? For then I would have lain down and been quiet. I would have slept, and I would have been at rest with kings and counselors of the earth, who rebuilt ruins for themselves, or with princes who had gold, who filled their houses with silver. Or why was I not a hidden stillborn, as infants who never see the light? Sad. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary are at rest. There our prisoners are at ease together. They hear not the voice of the taskmaster. The small and the great are there. The slave is free from his master. Why is light given to him who is in misery? The life to the bitter in soul, who long for death, but it comes not, and dig for it more than for hidden treasures, who rejoice exceedingly and are glad when they find the grave. Why is light given to a man whose way is hidden from God, has hedged in? For my sight comes instead of my bread, and my groanings are poured out like milk. For the thing that I fear comes upon me, what I dread befalls me, and I am not at ease, nor am I quiet. I have no rest, but trouble comes. Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, if one ventures a word with you, Job, will you be impatient? Yet who can keep from speaking? Behold, you have instructed many, Job, and you have strengthened the weakened hands. Your words have upheld him who was stumbling, and you have made firm the feeble knees. But now it has come to you. You are impatient. It touches you, and you're dismayed. Is not your fear of God your confidence, and the integrity of your ways your hope? This particular scripture comes after the last Bible study, which we spoke about in reference to Job and what he was going through after all of this has been going on longer, and he was not able to move, let alone go and sit and scrape his wounds in ashes. It got worse, of course. He was not able to move, and his friends was saying that, you had to have done something wrong to deserve this, blah, blah, blah. That's when his friends turned on him. Is further in the passage. If I'm not mistaken, it was like 19 something. And this is in the beginning. This is right in the beginning of his health. So if we start one page before, it talks about Job, character and wealth, and how he was had many sheep, camels, oxen, donkeys, servants, and he does his morning offerings, his burnt offerings. He had children. It may be that my children have sinned and cursed God in their hearts. Thus Job did continually. Now, look at that. Job would sin and consecrate them. And when the days of the feast had run their course, Job had sinned and consecrate them. And he would rise early in the morning and burn offerings according to the number of them. For Job said, it may be that my children have sinned and cursed God in their hearts. Thus Job did this continually. That's interesting that he said that. And then Satan allowed Job to be tested. The Satan takes away his property and his children. And then the Lord giveth and he taketh away. He did it in the Lord's name. And Satan comes back to God and said, well, this is very interesting to me. The go back and forth from Satan and the Lord, because he specifically presents himself. He said this is in a time where there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan also came among to present himself before the Lord. Satan comes to present himself before the Lord. How dare him, right? Satan has no morals. He has no ethics. He has no filter. He has no conscience. He has no respect. He has no honor. It's like somebody that robs your home and then comes and say, why is the police here? Oh, what happened? And helps you look for the robber. It's like somebody who kills your loved one and then on the news play like they want to help look for the killer. This is crazy. Satan presented himself to God, and God said, from where have you come? And Satan answers, from going to and fro on the earth, from walking up and down on it. So you know that Satan is still doing this. He's jumping in from person to person in hopes that you don't recognize him, that he is the devil himself. And he is walking up and down on this earth, going to and fro on the earth, presenting himself to people just as he presented himself to God, with no remorse, no kind of, what is the word I'm looking for? Reserve. He just, no conscience, no respect, nothing. It's just nothing there. When somebody is acting devilish, if that don't tell you enough, I don't know. You might want to stay away from them, because they never going to change. They're never going to have a conscience. They're never going to care. They don't have they call them sociopaths. They call them sociopaths. They call them psychotics. They call them mentally ill. They call them murderers. They call them actually serial killers when they don't have a conscience. So that just gives you a little food for thought on these type of people that are definitely walking this earth and up and down and to and from. And have you considered my servant Job? So the Lord says, well, we know why you came here. Have you considered my servant Job? You did what you did, and he still did not sin or charge God with wrong. So there is none like him, blameless, upright, fears God, and turns away from evil, and he still holds fast to his integrity. He still holds fast to his integrity. Did he say that his integrity is without holes, without sin? Job himself said his sons may have cursed God. Interesting that he would confess that his sons, children he has raised, may have cursed God. Now, why would Job say that? Because if these are my children that I've raised them to honor God. I've raised them to read their Bible. I've raised them to do right. And if you raise them well, they will not, and that's in Proverbs, they will not stray from the Bible. They will not stray from the teachings of the Lord. That's in Proverbs. So why would Job burn offerings and say that if it was not already in practice? And he didn't witness it already. Next, he says, oh, the devil gets upset. He gets mad and yells at God and says, skin for skin. All that a man has, he will give for his life. All that a man has, he will give for his life. All that a man has, he will give for his life. So men are literally giving away the life, their soul, their spirit for money. All that a man has, he will give for his life. Oh, you can have my soul. Go ahead. Just give me money, power, respect, fame, fortune. All that a man has, he will give for his soul. He will give for his life. What's life but your spirit? But stretch out your hand and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse you to your face. And the Lord said to Satan, behold, he is in your hands. Only spare his life. Only spare his life. And if that doesn't tell you already, he has a soul. So he has not sold his soul. He has his spirit. He has his integrity. And he's blameless. And he's upright. So Satan went out and presented himself from the presence of the Lord. And you're going to feel that change from the presence of the Lord. You're going to feel that. That's very important passage. And he went and he struck Job with loathsome sores from the sole of his feet to the crown of his head. Went out from the presence of the Lord. How can you go in the presence of the Lord and come out and go do something like that? Anywho, but you know, Satan is Satan. He doesn't have any reservation. He doesn't have any conscience. And I'm laughing because there's so many people like this on earth. It's ridiculous. And he took a piece, and Job sat down and took a piece of pottery and started scraping himself with ashes and set in the ashes. Why did he sit in the ashes, and why is he scraping himself with pottery? Some of the signs and symptoms of depression is self-mutilation. People cut themselves. Also, when you have a wound, some do debridement. Surgical doctors, podiatrists do debridement of the wounds to remove slough as scar, dead tissue, so that it can have more viable tissue to just grow, heal evenly and more better and faster. So in a way, he's doing what he has to do. In the charcoal is also a way of pulling out impurities. So he's sitting in the ashes. Also, what I got from that piece of passage is that when you sit inside the ashes, like with Meshach and Abednego and Meshach and Abednego, I'm probably mispronouncing those names, but when they went inside the fire because they did not bow down, only thing that was burnt on them was the chains. So this is very symbolic to me in the fact that I got that he is going through fire, burning chains. What is some chains? What is he being chained to? And how are they weighing him down? In reference to him being without sin, not blaming God, being a blameless man, upright, and holding fast his integrity. But his children are cursing God. And now when we read on, he sits inside the ashes, and then his wife goes to him and says, you still hold fast to your integrity? Curse God and die. Now, what kind of woman would say this to her husband? This is the type of woman that doesn't have integrity. So not only does his children not have integrity, his wife doesn't have integrity. And she told him to go to hell. Okay? So now she divorced. She walked off. She left him. He lost his children. He lost his wealth. He lost his wife. These are some of the chains that are being broken off of his holding down his integrity. Holding down this upright man. Holding down this blamelessness. So that's why God, in my opinion, allowed Job to go through these things, because when you're going through these things, it's going to be some people that's not going to be able to withstand the fire, because you know why they're not going to be able to withstand it? Because they're not strong. They're not strong enough to withstand it, because they don't have the integrity that Job has. Now, integrity, when we speak of integrity, we speak of cloth, we speak of cashmere, cotton, silk, we speak of corduroy. I like corduroy. Polyester. Your integrity, your cloth. I'm cut from a different cloth. So I think Job made a lot of mistakes in his life. It's not to say that he is perfect. He's without sin, but he held fast to his integrity. And he's blameless and upright. He's doing all he can. But for some reason, the people he's connecting himself to are not. So if he's not guilty of anything, he's guilty by association. And everybody knows if you're in a car that's stolen, you're going to get arrested too, because you're riding in a stolen car. You get caught in that car, and let's say they have a gun on them that killed somebody, you're accessory to murder. It's guilty by association. And then if you're in a relationship with somebody that cheats on you, that has no integrity, and they cheat on you, and they bring home a disease, you're going to be guilty by association. You're going to be contracted by association by laying down with that person without integrity. So it's a lot of things that are going on that are affecting Job's life that he's not aware of. And he thinks that he can just continue to associate himself with these people that are lacking integrity and withhold his own. And God allowed these things to go on because he's gonna use the wicked. He's using Satan to decrease his. You hear this little saying that says, I probably decrease in numbers of my company, but increase in quality of my integrity. The quality increase. Okay? Now, if you have a strong quality and you continue to grow in the right group of people, it doesn't matter if they have money or not. A lot of these people have no integrity. And the hole you dig for others, you're going to fall in yourself by comparison. Your integrity is being compromised. And that is the hole you're going to fall in yourself. The hole you dig for others, you will fall in yourself. And the compromise of your integrity, of your own integrity, is the hole that will gape in and sink you in. Because if you marry the wrong wife, you're going to feel it for the rest of your days. Your life will be affected. Now, Job is going through sickness. He's sitting down in the ashes. Lord knows he's probably scraping himself to hurry up and continue to process this. Say, look, please don't hurt me no more. I'm already hurting. You never know. I don't know. Maybe he's doing debridement. I don't know. But that's not the point. The point is that his wife comes up and says, go to hell. Do not hold fast to your integrity. Do you still hold fast to your integrity? Curse God and die. But he said to her, you speak as one foolish woman and would speak. And they said he still did not sin, because that's probably how he spoke to his wife. Now, they said Jesus said, if you call somebody else a fool, is more hope for the person that you called a fool than there is for you. Job. He still didn't compromise his integrity. He still didn't sin. He probably was right with saying that she was a fool, but that doesn't mean that it was more hope for him. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is this. She's gone. He lost his wife now too. Now his three friends come up. And he talks about cursing the day he was born. Why am I here? I should not have been born, which is so sad. He said, why wasn't I just hidden from light like a stillborn? Why was I given breast? Why was I given ability to see the knees? I just don't understand this misery. The light is given to him who was in misery. So he's sulking. And his friend says, if I may say one thing, please excuse me. Behold, you have instructed many. You strengthen weak in hands. And your words have upheld him who have been stumbling. And you have made firm the feeble knees. Now it comes to you and you're impatient. All this probably happened quickly. Of course, they said the light came down and just struck. The light came down from God and just struck and killed some of his pastors and stuff out of it. It probably happened very quickly. Everything just crumbling, as they normally do. Now, because if it's going to go slow, you wouldn't be able to, you'll be able to change things and salvage those things. But he lost all his wealth, and his children and his wife and his friends are saying, look, you don't be impatient or dismayed. Is it not your fear of God, your confidence? You should be more confident in the fact that you're going to get over this. And your integrity of your ways should be your hope. So this is when they start questioning, like, whoa, Job, you should be more confident in this. I should see more positivity coming from you because I know you to be a good man and you've always been there for us. However, he is down, and his friends doesn't understand his wife just left him. His kids were gone, his wealth is gone, now his health is gone, his reflection is gone, his skin is gone. His skin is basically his image. He's speaking in reference to confidence and hope, his inner image. That's why his friends come to sit with him and wept with him for 7 days and 7 nights, because of the inner image, the impression he left on his friends, the impression he went around and he left people feeling whole inside. He filled up cups of water. He left hope and confidence. He instilled hope and confidence in others. He left people feeling good. He didn't leave anybody feeling empty, lost, betrayed, abandoned. He didn't leave anybody like that. He didn't create that image, did he? So when you talk about skin for skin, what is the devil talking about in reference to Job not sinning or blaming God? He's blameless in his integrity. He's talking about when his back is turned, when people's back is turned, what is he doing? Is he stealing? Is he cheating on his wife? Is he using drugs? Is he doing this? Is he drinking? Is he doing this? Is he doing that? Is he lying on people to ruin people's lives and smearing others and creating all types of havoc where there's none for other people? No, he has his integrity. So if you have your integrity, your ways should bring you hope. I think Job is hopeful, and he knows that he's not going to die. That's why he's cursing the day he was born. Otherwise, he would be begging to die. He would not be begging for the day he was born not to have happened. He knows he's going to get through this, but he's miserable in the thick of it. God is in him and has already informed him he's going to get through it. I believe that. That's why he's cursing the day he was born. He's like, oh, this is horrible. I worked so hard to make sure my life is good. But guess what? Just like a lot of lights, we attract darkness. And it's a lot of people that look for light to bring them down, to use their light, to use their energy, to use their positivity, to shine light on their negative light in their life. And that doesn't mean that they're just, they want to turn a new leaf or it's actually helping them. They're just stealing. That lady never cared about Job. There's no way you could be married to somebody for years and years, have kids with them, and actually have integrity. And when he's down, this thing happened quickly. As soon as his soars off from the crown of his head to the sole of his feet, as soon as he's no good to her in every way, shape, and form. You don't have money, you don't have kids, you don't even have your health. She's gone. That's a lack of integrity. And she's talking about him holding fast to his integrity. Jesus, where's yours? Jesus, I didn't know you didn't have any integrity. You married a woman with no integrity, Job. Jesus. And you calling her a fool? No, you are the fool because you married this woman. You put a ring on this finger with no integrity in her heart. Okay? So now that's what he did. He said, you think I'm going to go through, God will receive good, but you will not receive evil. But this didn't come from God. This came from the devil. This didn't come from God. This came from the devil. And all this Job did not sin with his lips. She was a fool, but he was the bigger fool because he took his light and wasted it on a woman that probably helped raise his children to be also foolish and not to without integrity. And he married this woman who also attracted friends that probably were cheating with her, and also lacked integrity. Because I don't see why these 3 friends, you only got 3 friends. These 3 friends, neighbors, would come all together to comfort him for 7 days and 7 nights. Now, why wouldn't they take turns? Why did no one take, if it's 3 of you guys, why did you come in 3 and sit in the ashes with him? Why would you not carry him to your home, one of your homes, and take care of him? He's covered in sores. Why is nobody taking care of him? Why are y'all sitting in the ashes crying? Because you think he's going to die. So you're not holding fast to the confidence of God. Job's fear of God and having confidence in his life. He's not holding fast to his integrity of his ways for his hope, for hope in his life, in Job's life. But he's asking, why aren't you? So they just came around basically to say, we miss our friend. We missed the handout. We missed the handout. We probably was cheating with your wife, but we missed the fact that you take care of her. We don't want to take care of her. I'm going to read into it. We don't want to take care of her. We don't want all of that responsibility. We need you to take care of her, and we just get stuff on the side. We just get a snack. We don't want to provide the whole meal. We don't want to buy the cow. She doesn't have any integrity. Okay? And we miss you helping us. We miss your advice. We miss you helping us, instilling us with confidence and hope and the fear of God. We miss you strengthening our weak hands. We miss you upholding us before we stumble and making our feeble knees strong. And then they do that little bit together because they can't do it by themselves. They come to give sympathy and comfort together because they are that weak. But I'm sure Job have done more for them one-on-one for 7 days, 7 nights. So Job has lost his wealth, he's lost his children, he's lost his wife, and he's lost his friends, and he's lost his health. All, I think, to burn off these people that are, these chains that are holding down and compromising his integrity. So the hole you dig for others, you fall in yourself. Now, Job specifically went out of his way to burn offerings for his children that may have cursed God. The hole you dig for others, you may fall in yourself because you compromise your own integrity. Why wouldn't he make sure he teaches children to have integrity instead of offering burnt offerings? Why would he not raise his children better than that? Why would he not pick a wife to raise his children more wise than that, with more integrity? And a lot of people are doing this, and they feel as though they can do whatever and let their children grow up and fail. Oh, you'll learn. You'll learn. And then when they get out in those streets and they pass away, they die or they get mistaken by some user and abandon them with children, or anything can happen. Anything can happen. Why didn't you teach this wisdom to your child? And then he cursed the day he was born. Don't curse the day you was born. Curse the day your children was born, and the day you married that woman without integrity. Curse the day you met those friends without integrity. You know they didn't have integrity. He knew it. Just like he knew his children was cursing God. He knew that woman was a fool. You speak as a foolish woman would speak. He knew she was foolish. This is nothing new. He knew his friends was lacking integrity. Now, Jesus said the doctor is for the sick. But if you understand what Jesus did in his walk, he healed and he kept moving. One time he took away leprosy from this guy, and the guy said, "Oh, I want to stay." He healed him from leprosy and sent out all of these evil spirits into swine, and the swine just ran into the water and drowned. And he said, "I want to come with you, God. I want to come with you, Jesus." And he said, "No, go home and don't tell anybody. Go to your family and don't tell anyone." And the man did it anyway. And there he knows that this guy lacks integrity, but he did not allow him to come with him. A lot of people did not come with him. Yep. Even John the Baptist was killed, but we're not going to go there. And he was killed because he spoke up against Pharaoh, and he ended up being beheaded. And it hurt Jesus, but I can't help but feel like he knew that was going to happen. He was hurt and he wept, and he was hurt by that stuff, but he was hurt by a lot of stuff. He was even hurt when it was one, he brought somebody back to life. He brought somebody back to life. Somebody died and he brought him back to life, and he helped and he wept about that, and he brought him back to life. So, but nonetheless, the big picture, the big story, the story is that picking the right wife with integrity, loss of company that has a lack of integrity, going through the fire to burn the chains that are weighing you down, and also decreasing your quality of your integrity does help you grow. It will help you grow. And unless you choose wisely in who you grow your company with, who you accompany yourself with. You need to choose wisely who you accompany yourself with. Jesus chose 12 disciples. And even in those 12 disciples, he said somebody will deceive me. And he actually said who was going to do it. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Judah or something like that. I can't remember. But nonetheless, long story short, Jesus is different. And that was planned and plotted, and that was God's will for him to do what he did. And he said, you're gonna deny me 3 times before the cock crows. So he knew everything, what was going to happen. Everything happened accordingly. But if you don't learn anything else from Jesus' walk, you need to learn that you need to choose your company so that your plan and God's will is carried out. And I don't think it's God's will that these children, that he's burning offerings for his children to be cursing God. Okay? I don't think it's God's will that this woman as soon as he gets sick, this woman would come to him and say, do you still hold fast to your integrity? Curse God and die. I don't think it's God's will that, he would have married this woman that was so vain, worried about money and how he looked and everything else but him. I don't think it's God's will that these friends of his would just come in a group. And not take 7 days and 7 nights. You take 7 days, 7 nights. I'll take 7 days, 7 nights. You take 7 days, 7 nights, and we rotate and stay and keep with him. Make sure he gets through this and he's not alone. Or maybe we can all carry him to one place, one of our homes, and help him out, or get his house together and help him, or do something for him. I don't think that was God's will to have friends like that, to sit in ashes with him and then just blame him and curse him and say that he deserved it. He had to do something to deserve that, when they know that he has been nothing but a kind helping hand. Also, you don't want to take yourself as God. I don't think that people should be walking around acting like because they have strong integrity, they walk upright and they're blameless, that they can carry others. You can't make anybody be good and do good just because you are good. You can't take away no one's will. If they want to be and lack integrity, they're going to lack integrity. It don't matter if you put a ring on their face or not, on their finger or not, or a ring on the pig's snout. They still a pig. They're still a pig. So we have to understand of the limitations in our power. Burnt offerings are not going to heal their children cursing God. You need to teach them integrity, to have integrity. And you need to make sure you marry and have children with somebody that actually believes in having integrity, and so that your children are raised up properly. You need to befriend people that have integrity, because you need to watch the company you keep, because they may influence your wife, they may influence your children, they may influence your family members, they may influence you. It doesn't matter. You're not able to change anybody. God gave us free will, and that works both ways. You're not able to sit there and lie to somebody and say, I want to be in a relationship with you, I want to marry you, and I want to be with you and only you, I don't want to be with nobody else, and then go behind their back and cheat on them and dump them and abandon their children that you were supposed to take care of and you promised to take care of. You're not allowed to take away no one's free will, and you're not going to help them become have a free will with integrity. Either way, you don't have that power. And I think this is a big message that needs to be heard, in the fact that you need to know what power you have, in the fact that you have free will. You have the free will to listen to either God or the devil, and to seek God and read the Bible and to act on him. Or you have the free will to act in devilish ways and lack integrity. And you can't make anybody do either way otherwise. You just can't. And that's all I have for you today. You have a God bless day. Thank you so much.